and welcome to Tally Benchwarmers, your unofficial, definitely not expert take on the latest in local collegiate sports. This week, we are again backbenching on FSU football and FAMU football. They're going to be playing again this weekend. And, of course, FSU women's soccer, plus some exciting volleyball action here in the capital city. Plus, what the heck is going on with college football this year? So for the next 30 minutes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, the WFSU team is going to concentrate on FSU and FAMU sports. And the team that we have here on the bench with us today is we're one member short, but welcoming Adrian Andrews, our just all-around sports and hurricane reporter. How you doing, Adrian?
I'm good. I'm good.
And when I say hurricane reporter, I don't mean the Miami Hurricanes. I mean the Florida Hurricanes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Also is the CFO, the swim coach. She's going to be the coach of our swimming team here at WFSU.
We're going to have one.
We're going to have one.
Okay.
Well, the pool is just across the street from our broadcast complex. So Jennifer Tappan, our CFO here at WFSU. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
And our Assistant Chief Engineer, Eric Carter, is usually with us. He is out today, but he did send me his picks, so I'll bring in Eric's picks a little bit later when we get to that portion of the podcast. And let me also remind folks that are watching or listening, it is our disclaimer: for legal reasons, do not take anything we say to your bookie or to Vegas, right?
Especially me.
Especially, don't follow Jennifer.
No.
So you hear the war chant. That must mean FSU football. FSU is back in the game again this week. They had a bye week, Adrian. Do you think the bye week helped them?
Yeah, I think so. I think Norvell has some things to sort out. One was the biggest thing. Well, who am I going to start? This week, and he released that depth chart, and it looks like Brock is going to get that. Get the lead role. So I think that gives him more time. What you guys think?
I agree, and I've seen there's some changes to the offensive line, the O-line, and who's starting there. So hopefully that's
is
a positive
probably
change.
As important or more important, maybe than at QB. But
Lundy's going to be out, but I think having this week off to collect ourselves and try and figure some things out and sort some things out, I think it's going to be helpful.
The ACC overall is really, it seems like it's four teams that are going to, probably Clemson, but, we have lost to teams so far that we probably should have beaten. And to then lose to Clemson, not as big as a lot of folks probably thought, probably sitting around this table. So they may help a little bit. Help a little confidence.
Yeah, there was some recruiting news that came out last week, during that bye season. Mario Nash Jr., I'm not sure if you guys heard of him. He's a four-star. He just committed. He just committed to FSU, so he'll be with us next year. So that's good for him, man. We grabbed him after his visit. Speaking of Clemson, that week 6, so we grabbed him, and so it was really good. So we'll be adding some new pieces on our offensive linemen. So
Yeah, well, they needed to add
really much needed.
Add that across the board because we've lost a few recruits along the way. I think we lost some right
lost a big time receiver to Texas. So,
we'll talk about Texas in a little while. But, the Longhorns looking good. Defensively, they've got to tackle. They're just not putting themselves. They haven't been putting themselves in a position to really make the tackles, and sometimes when they do, they're still just not making the tackle.
Yeah, you got to limit those big plays downfield. And also on the offensive side of things, just try to get Toafili more involved, get him the ball more,
and let's catch balls.
That's
catch
the ball. But Toafili, I think you're right.
Toafili has to get him more involved, get him, and again that speaks to the O line. You have to actually create the space, getting him the ball and get our receivers to be able to catch the ball, that would definitely help. Whoever who was up under the starter, who wanted the centers. But yeah.
And hopefully, I don't know if one of the changes was the center, but let's hope that if they don't change the center, that he has practice snapping
to Brock. Maybe there's a little bit of a, I don't know, DJ and Brock are pretty much the same height, I think. So you wouldn't think, but that center was, the ball was going high, the ball was going low, the ball was going this way.
Just a little nervous. That's all. He had the jitters.
Yeah, he had the center jitters. Yeah, and we hate to sound like we're just bashing our players. I mean, they're young men, and they're doing the best they can. But we know they've got the talent to do better. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, it's depending on those young players. So a lot of those young guys stepped up, the other week. So I think this week, we have Duke.
We got Duke.
So maybe maybe see some of those young guys step up again, and
I think people like us are expecting those young guys to be in there.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear another crowd pleaser, the FAMU team, the Mighty Rattlers. They had the week off also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're rested up. So should be good to go.
Jackson State this week.
Oh my
It's going to be a big game.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I always call them like that's Deion's old team. That's them over there. So, I think this bye week was definitely very important for them. They have to figure out, getting all of their stars, getting them the ball, just like Florida State. They share some of those same problems a little bit, but at least there's a winning season. Having a winning season.
They have something to build upon,
Yeah.
right?
I know, right? There's
Florida State does too. I mean, a lot to build upon.
Right.
There's all kinds of opportunities.
It depends on how you look at that. That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, FAMU, like I said, they're trying to get back not only to make the conference championship, they're trying to get back to the HBCU National Championship. Having this bye week is definitely good for them. Get their quarterback some rest. I thought the last game, they try to keep him more so in the pocket. I love to see him sort of scramble out, But I think this is going to be good for him. Jackson State is going to be definitely a good game. They'll be in Mississippi. So I expect a pretty good crowd for that one. So
that's really, I guess it's maybe 8-hour drive. I'm not sure if it's
it's a decent little drive. So I will not be making that one. But
you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna go to that game?
No, not Jackson, Mississippi. They have to be somewhere in the Alabama range.
No further to the west than maybe Pensacola or even maybe Birmingham.
I would love it. They're getting somewhere around there, but no, I'm not making that drive.
But yeah, I mean, FAMU's they do have something to build upon. And their coach has really first year coach FAMU. I mean, you got to the players have to get used to him. He's got to get used to his players, and he's done a really
only 2 losses.
Job.
So I mean, like I said, you really can hang your hat on a lot of good things. So I mean. We'll see what this week looks like for both squads, but I'm expecting some big things for FAMU. Another SWAC game, so you have another conference game. So we'll see.
Good. Yeah. Hey, that whistle always means we got to go on to a totally different subject. Although it's not totally different, we want to talk about the general environment of college football. Oh my gosh, this year has been a little bit nutso, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
I just I looked. I think AP Top 25 came out last night, and a little piece of trivia for you. Both Army and Navy. Let's talk about the top 5 in just a minute. Both Army and Navy, for the first time since 1960, we talked about Adrian. Wow. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody except me around this table was even born then. I know. So, but that's first time since 1960 that they've both been in the top 25.
That's
amazing.
Incredible. Yeah. That's incredible.
Maybe good for
Army.
Recruiting.
Go Army.
Maybe. Yeah, that's right. Your background, but great for recruiting too. Hey, come and be a soldier, but you can also
come on and be an officer, but also leave you with a little bit of cash or something too, right?
Exactly right.
Get your bowl game experience and all that.
That's a whole different kind of Army recruiting message, isn't it?
I wish we didn't have that when I was I was in, but hey, that's awesome, man. The whole college football world is definitely it's crazy this year, right? SEC, that's wide open. We were just talking about that. ACC, I think we already know sort of how that's going to fold out and stuff between Clemson and Miami.
But the surprise is probably SMU and probably even Pitt. But I mean, Pitt's had a strong team in a lot of years. But SMU first year in the ACC and
our first timers, they're doing pretty good.
They are.
Yeah.
They're doing pretty good.
They're better than us. Ouchers.
They were way better than us.
We're letting them take the stage for a year.
Gosh,
welcome.
That's what it is.
It's a welcoming gift, right?
But but this past weekend, Alabama struggled against South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Georgia, I mean, they put it to Mississippi State at least in total yards, but they only beat them at 10 points.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like anyone, it's like the upset. Just be on upset alert. You know what I'm saying? The upset watch.
Penn State almost lost to USC. The best team probably of the weekend was the Ohio State Oregon game.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, College Game Day was there too, and it's really kind of cool that when College Game Day, when they start their day out, and it is so pitch black.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was like 4 a.m. there.
Then you have the fans there; they're amped up.
They were crazy.
Yeah,
and then they had to stay awake until the game was at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock kickoff. So pretty funny. Clemson. The other thing I want to mention about the ACC is Cal. I mean, we beat Cal. It was not a terribly exciting win, although it was a win, so it was exciting.
Yeah.
But Cal should have beat Miami. I mean, they could have beat Pitt this weekend because they outgained them. So Cal is a better team than they're winless in the conference right now, but they're a better team. So again, to your point, the guys that the teams we brought in, are looking pretty doggone good.
I think Cal's biggest struggle is the West Coast, having to travel to the East Coast to play these games. And
when Miami went to Cal to play that game, but I mean, that's what that's what you have to do. But it's a 3-hour difference, so that your whole body clock is a little off.
Lots of travel and body clock being off. They'll get used to it, and they'll come
you're already seeing in the sports pages that they're picking here's how the bowls are going to go and everything else. So today, who's going to win the national championship? Who do we think sitting around this table? Who's going to win the national championship?
I'll probably I still think it's early, but I'd probably toss out Texas.
Well, maybe. Texas, Georgia this weekend. That is going to be
I think you know what I'm saying? It's a little early for me to say, because it's like you still have so many great games and, top 10 teams that's going to play, but I'll probably say Texas if I was just going to throw out a team right now.
I think if Texas can hold off Georgia, they have a really good chance. But then you have the playoff scenario where, just like in the NFL, like the team can be not very good all season, then all of a sudden during the playoffs they can turn it on.
And you sort of
it'll be interesting to see how it all works. And I know the conference champion will be automatically in the playoffs, but I'm wondering how many SEC teams they're going to allow in the playoffs, because they're by far the best conference this year. By far. The strongest conference.
Well, they will tell you that every year. They may be.
They're showing it this year.
But they're beating each other up too, which is going to knock them down in kind of rankings and everything else. I mean, the Big 12 and the Big 10, they've got some and what Oregon, this is their first year in the new conference too. So the fact that they knocked off Ohio State, that's big news.
Yeah. I know they've been cracking on Oregon for the longest. So I mean, it was no natties, but you got the cool uniforms.
I've got a feeling that Jennifer is going to pick. If she would pick Georgia right now to win the national championship. Am I right?
No.
I
love Georgia.
Okay.
And they're an excellent team, and they're very, very talented. They are slow starters, and that's been a problem all season. And it killed him when they played Alabama. Mm-hmm. And if you have teams that have explosive offenses, like many of the top 10 teams, I'm not sure that Georgia's going to be able to stop them. They have an excellent team, and they have all the talent in the world, but they're slow starters on offense, and their defense, there's definitely some weaknesses in their defense just with quick, explosive teams.
Well, I'm just going to say the eyes of Texas are upon you. Yeah, I'm going to pick Texas. I think right now Texas is by far head and shoulders, I think, above everybody else.
Yeah, I think they have a Manning. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? And he's just a freshman. He's not even that great yet. Just give him
he's a redshirt freshman, but yours is a good QB. So
Yeah.
I think it's Texas.
Okay, so that means I don't guess I get to sing anymore. Oh well, that's okay. It's time to talk about again, probably at least the best football team on the campus of FSU. The women's soccer team had a tough week last week. Two losses, two conference losses, but they bounced back against BC.
Good
this past weekend. Yeah.
Low scoring game, 1-0.
Yeah.
I mean, so but. They've been on the road for quite some time, so they finally get a chance to be back at home this week.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think so.
They played 3 straight road games, but Jordan Dudley and Taylor Huff, those are some superstars right there, man. I love watching those girls play. But they play incredible defense. They definitely know how to.
It's obvious they play incredible defense because their games are always solo scoring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's incredible defense. But. Yeah, what I found interesting though that the AP dropped them after that loss. After those 2 losses, number 22.
22, I think, is where.
Goodness gracious,
that was because I think they were like 11th before.
Yeah, it was in the. Well, no, they were in the top 10.
Yeah, they were
top
number 7.
Okay.
I thought
that is
that's a big.
That's a big drop.
Precipitous drop, as they say.
He's using the big words.
Gosh, I got to pull out my dictionary every time. But so here's something for you guys. This marks the first time since 2011 that the Noles have not been in the top 15.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Crazy, right?
That's
what I'm like. That is crazy. Number 22. Like you go from being a top 10 team after 2 losses, then you go down to 22, barely, out of that 25. So maybe this win.
Yeah, I think the BC win
maybe
hopefully
bumps them up a little bit.
Should. Yeah. This, I think, I'm reading this correctly. It's the 46th straight game of where they scored. So they've remained. They've extended that program streak to 46 games. So I mean, again, that is consistency in play, right?
Yeah, and you're still seeing the girls coming back in, from playing overseas and everything, coming in trying to mesh,
right?
Trying to figure each other out. So I think they'll be fine. Brian Piskett does an amazing job, in getting that team together.
He's great.
I don't believe, they're going to lose too many more games, but, just like I said, having those 2 losses and having that big drop, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
And I tell you, another women's team on this campus that is doing phenomenal is their volleyball team, FSU women's volleyball. Yeah. Friday night, I was at the game this past Friday night against number 4 Louisville. Well, first thing is the Tully was packed, and it was crazy exciting. And we took number 4 to 5 sets. Won the first set. Louisville came back, won the next 2 sets, and you kind of start thinking, man, here's that championship mentality of Louisville. It's just going to, but then we came back and won the 4th set, and then struggled in that 5th set, and I think we lost it 15-8 or something like that in that last set. But wow, what a game! And we were against. My wife was with me, and I kept looking. And Louisville has this. She's an All-American. I think she was ACC Player of the Year last year. Anna DeBeer, number 14, and I kept saying to my wife, do not serve to 14 because she was probably their best returner on serve on their whole team, and then it allowed the Louisville team then to set her up. I think she had like 24 kills. Oh wow! Kills, and it was. Oh my gosh. But we've got a great team, and really a lot of fun. We bounced back. We played Notre Dame, I think, this weekend and won. Won 3-1, I think, in that. So, but wow. Women's volleyball is so daggone exciting.
Yeah.
It really is.
What is it? Koenig.
Koenig? Yeah, Aubrey.
Oh,
Aubrey
my God.
Koenig,
yeah. I know she was 6'3".
She's, and yeah, I think she had 23 kills. She had 22 kills. It's like looking up.
My
gosh.
Hi. Yeah.
And one of the cool things about being in the Tully is you're right there at the action. It's such a it's a small, and that's the difference between playing with because FAMU plays in the arena at the Lawson Arena. So it's just not the same kind of feel or environment, at least not yet. But if FAMU keeps winning, they're going to start filling more seats, put more and more seats in that arena.
Yeah.
Adrian and I were both at the Bethune-Cookman game, right?
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Another dominating win, for the Rattlers. Mm-hmm. And it's like they're unbeaten in the SWAC. So it's like they're just racking them up. And so they're making this push towards the SWAC championship. So, it's going really good for both teams. Both volleyball teams are doing really good.
Yeah, and the one thing that I love at the Lawson Arena, and you'll recognize this, is Point Rattlers.
That's right.
That is so fun.
We heard that throughout the entire
every point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hear it so much because it's like, like I said, they are killing these teams by like 11-point margins.
Yeah.
Like each set.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just not even close.
Yeah, 11 to 12-point margins, and against that Bethune game, that was last Wednesday. But yeah, it was outstanding. The crowd was great. They knocked off Southern this past Sunday. I believe they have another one.
They got a game Monday night. We're recording this Monday morning, and it'll be tonight.
They got tonight, so it's like
unbeaten at home.
Unbeaten at home. Yeah.
And you always talk about the players who can make those big kill shots, but they've got a setter named Alexandra Koleva. She is from Bulgaria. She's number 5. Number 5. She did not leave the court. I think she played every point against Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Phenomenal. And she's got this, she's a good setter, but then, and I know this is an audio medium, but I think those folks on YouTube, you can see me. She's got this little thing where when she pretends she's going to set the ball, she's right there at the net, and then she kind of flips it with her wrist, and it just goes right down across the net. So fun to watch. Yeah. But so it's even the little girls, even the little people like you and me, Adrian, we can make a big impact on the team. But so a lot of excitement for the round ball and basketball. Speaking of round ball, basketball season is just around the corner. So we're going to have 4 teams playing all the time, and we're going to be talking a lot about basketball coming up. But,
I'm excited for basketball season, man.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. But before we leave today, we know that we need to talk about our picks.
Oh yeah, let's get into it.
We've been doing picks. I've got a piece of paper here that's going to tell me how we've done so far this season, percentage wise. And I've also got a sheet of paper that Eric Carter gave me his picks for the week. But percentage wise, okay, season total so far. Adrian and Eric are right there together with 85, almost 86% winning percentage. Oh yeah, I'm not too far behind you, just below 82%, 81.82, and poor Jennifer, she's had a run of bad luck on a few games, sitting at only about 63, 64%. But you know what? We've got a full lineup of games that we're going to pick this week, Jennifer.
And I
have a level of confidence for you. I don't know how confident I really am, but I've got a small level of confidence for you.
I think you can.
I think she can do it.
Yeah.
I think she can do it.
That's a small level.
So first game we're going to pick is FSU Duke. They are playing in North Carolina. Friday night game, coming off of the bye week. They have got to perform better than they have. I'm saying that in order to win, they've got to perform better than they have so far this season. Adrian, what do you think?
I don't want to mess up my percentage. I've been on a roll.
You've been on a roll.
But let's, you know what? I think that, like I said, that extra week, getting Brock prepared, he learns the offense, learns that playbook. I'm going to boldly go with Florida State. I think
boldly. I'm liking that.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Florida State. I think that extra week, has definitely given the team some time to figure it out. Like I said, against Clemson, there were some times we thought, I was like, man, I think we might be a little bit close. We kept it close up to a certain point.
We just weren't consistent enough, right?
About consistency.
If we could put them together.
It's about consistency. And again, that was his first start. So I think going into this one, you have that extra week. I think Brock actually turns it around and sort of, I think he does some good things against Duke. So I'm going with Florida State.
Florida State. I don't think I even have to ask Jennifer who you're going to pick, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. What do you think?
I agree. I'm going to go with Florida State. I think extra time off, changes to the O-line. The team really kind of rallies around Brock, which is awesome. So do the fans. We also have a 22-game winning streak against Duke. We have won the last 22 matchups. So.
Wow, you did a little homework before this.
I didn't even know
I'm
that.
impressed. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Florida State, and we'll keep that streak going.
I am also picking FSU. I think this will be the week they've got to get that second conference win, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But that second win of the season. Now I'm going to tell you that our friend Eric Carter, who is our resident guru, I'll even tell you what he thinks that. His heart wants to go with FSU. His mind is telling him to stay away from picking him. So he's going with the Blue Devils.
That breaks my heart a little bit.
Yeah, it does break you. Well, I think
Duke's 5-1. Yeah, Duke is 5-1. So like I said, I boldly picked that.
Yeah,
I really didn't.
It's a bold pick.
I really didn't want to.
I'm picking more with my heart than anything
for sure.
else.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Do you think that's why Eric's not here today?
It could be
nothing flying across the table.
He was afraid that he might get. Okay.
He can't sit across from me. Yeah.
We're gonna have to ask him what the heck's going on. Yeah. Okay. FAMU is against Jackson State. We talked about that. We hopefully will have a good contingent of fans that will make the trip. What do you think?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I feel like that's even tougher than Florida State and Duke. Let's go with FAMU. I'm hoping that I hear that Jackson State defense is not. They struggle a little bit. They've went several games where they sort of let up 30 or more points. So I think with FAMU's passing offense, they should be able to pull out on this one. So I'm going with FAMU with this one.
Okay. Yeah. Jim?
Yeah, I picked FAMU as well. I think it's going to be a big game. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think FAMU's going to pull it out.
I called you Jen, and we talked about this before the podcast.
No.
She went by Jenny when she was a young girl, around the time that Forrest Gump came out, and so
I was in middle school,
and so that was tough. That was tough. Yeah. So I'll call you Jen or Jennifer. I won't call you Jenny.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Jenny, what'd you do? I'm sorry, Jen. Who'd you pick? FAMU?
FAMU.
Okay. Eric picked FAMU also, and I'm going FAMU. I've got great confidence in the team. I think it's going
to be a high-scoring game. And, oh, my gosh.
I think it'll be exciting.
Yeah, if I come back and, well, maybe I might skip the show. I was like, you guys can't see me. I messed up.
No. You still got a pretty good winning percentage, but let's see. We'll see after this week.
Oh, my gosh.
So Florida, after that, what a dynamic almost win against Tennessee this past weekend, but they're playing Kentucky this week. So what do you think? You think we're going to see the real Gator team that we've seen most of the season, or is it going to be a team that is playing now with heart?
This is the same Kentucky that held Georgia.
I believe it's the same. I believe it's the same team.
At least it was. That was a low-scoring game. I want to say it was less than two touchdowns. They held them out of the end zone. Maybe 3 touchdowns at most. So that Kentucky defense is probably something we need to pay attention to. I'm going with Kentucky just because of that. Their defense is stout. So.
Well, but here's the thing. I think Mertz was injured against Tennessee, whether he plays or not. Then you got Lagley, who is that dynamic freshman QB who the Kentucky may not have been planning on playing it, although they got a week to prepare. But Kentucky
defense is stout, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I know who Jennifer's going to pick.
Kentucky.
You cannot pick the Gators.
I can't pick the Gators, but also Kentucky. Watching them play Georgia a couple weeks ago, they're a good team. They're a really good team, and I just I think they'll handle the Gators just fine.
I'm picking against the group. I'm going Gators because I think this could be one of those games where Kentucky's going to think that was a lucky game against Tennessee and not be ready for them. And I think the Gators are going to pull something out here. And I hate to say that because the better the Gators are looking, the worse our Gator game. Our odds are later in the season.
Yeah.
But I'm going against the group. I'm picking Florida for this. Now UM is playing Louisville this week. What do we think? Coming off a bye, UM had a bye last week also. So they've got. I don't know if I'm not sure if I know whether that's in Miami or the. Or they're playing Louisville. But Adrian, what do you think?
Oh boy,
UM's right. They're number 6. I think. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta go with Miami.
Yeah. And Jennifer?
I'm gonna go with Miami. Even when they shouldn't win, they figure out a way to win. So.
That is true. That
private school money.
Yeah.
So, Eric, here's what Eric says. Begrudgingly, I'll take the team that plays in Doak South. He calls it Cryami versus Louisville. But I think he is again going with the group, and I'm going with Miami. So it's all of us are going for the Hurricanes, picking the Hurricanes. UCF against Iowa State. I think UCF. I was listening to sports radio coming in this morning. It comes out of Orlando, and man, they were really down on their nights on sports radio there. So Iowa State's got a good team, though. I think. Yeah,
I haven't even I have not looked into Iowa State. So I'll be. I'm gonna stick with the home team. Let's go with Central Florida. They're lucky they're a home team. They're lucky they're in the state, because if not,
I'm just gonna. I just looked at the top 25. Iowa State's number 9, so ranked number 9. So just think about that before you.
No, he already made his pick.
He's already made his pick.
I'm trying to catch him. I'm trying to catch him. He already made his pick.
Oh my God.
Okay.
UCF, please.
Okay, Adrian's got.
I've got a chance. I've got a chance.
Jennifer.
Iowa State. I love the Knights. We love our Knights. But Iowa State's a top 10 team, and UCF just.
You guys didn't tell me.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to get to it. I was trying to go back and look at my notes.
I have not looked into Iowa State. I have not.
He did. I don't know, but I think we're gonna.
Yeah, you guys got me.
And last pick of the week is USF against University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB, as you know them, and. I think they're 1-5 or something so far. So Alabama Birmingham is not seem to be a powerhouse.
Yeah. USF.
They have the same record as us.
Well, see, there you go. So enough said. Right?
I picked USF on this one as well.
Yeah, I think. We're all together in that. Eric picked South Florida, as did I, and the big game this weekend though is going to be Georgia, Texas. So that's where all the eyeballs are going to be.
Go Dogs. I'm going to cheer for the Dogs.
The eyes of Texas are upon.
I'm not going to bark. But
oh, please,
no.
That would be the Ginny would not want to bark. So,
no.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
So that whistle means it's time to say goodbye. If I was Carol Burnett, for all of you old folks, tug my ear. But that's, again, a wrap-up to another fun Tally Benchwarmers podcast. Thanks to everybody who was watching. Thanks for listening. If you got questions, you want to have some questions that may seem dumb at the time, but, we look at us. We can take those dumb questions. Just email us at tallybench@wfsu.org. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week.